Really good to speak with you, Valeria. Look, Milei was something of an outsider politically. What was the appeal at this point in time for Argentinians?
Well, there was, hello, first of all, hello. It was so many years of frustration because of the distribution of wealth. And people found that leader, that person being their speaker. And that grew a lot more when the pandemic came. And then it became like a popular way of saying, we need a change, we need a radical change. And that's how they voted, and that's how they are celebrating now. It's like the voice of the ones that they're never heard.
Yeah, and it is interesting because, you know, when these populists who exploit potentially the circumstances come to power, does it necessarily mean that they come with the credentials to make the necessary changes?
Well, but first of all, we need to see if we are going to call him a populist. You know that populists could be left or right, and rightist populists call for some groups and give support and political benefits to some groups. It happened with Trump, it happened with Bolsonaro. In the case of Milei, we're calling him a neoliberal radical rightist because he's speaking about non-state policies. He's speaking about market only. And so now we'll see what path he's going to take. The alliance with former President Macri may moderate his presented policies, but we still don't know because that could happen. It could happen that they have problems among them. So it's a day of total uncertainty today. Today is a non-working day in Argentina, so our indicator of, you know, expectations from finances is not a clear day. So today we don't know how the exchange currency is going to be. We'll know that tomorrow. And we need to wait until the candidate from the government says what he's going to do, because he's the Minister of Economy. And somebody said yesterday he may be resigning. So it's going to be hard 3 weeks until the elect president takes power.
Yeah. And, you know, he did make some rather outlandish promises to be a real disruptor, to almost blow up, the terms he used, some of, you know, the established systems. Is he likely to be able to deliver on those without causing further pain for Argentines?
Well, that's the thing. We haven't found similarities when we studied these kind of leaders, except for dictators like in Chile with Pinochet, and he did all these kinds of things with repression. The same thing in Argentina, and in somehow Fujimori in Peru. So I would hope that this policies will be moderated and didn't get people in the streets and protests that they want to suppress.
You know, where does it leave the more traditional side of politics? As you say, he does need a coalition partner that might moderate him, but where does that leave the sort of the checks and balances of politics in the country?
Well, this alliance would bring him legislators, but not enough. So he still needs to build more support in Congress. Still, there are very sensitive measures that don't need to go through Congress and that could be very disruptive. This about economy, for example. If a dollar now is 1,000 pesos in Argentina, the unofficial dollar, that could go free, and it could go, let's say, to 5,000, 10,000 pesos, and people would still earn their salaries in pesos. So that that situation doesn't need to go through Congress, and it would cause a very quick and massive unrest.
So would you predict people coming back out onto the streets and potentially this government not lasting for very long?
Well, that's one hypothesis. How are they going to be stable, or how are they going to stay in power if such measures start? Because the thing is that people didn't vote. We've been running surveys for 2 years now, and we have known that people don't accept the whole package of ideas that Milei says. So maybe people would say, no, I don't want dollarization, but I'm going to vote for a change. People would say in majority proportions that he cannot do what he's promising, and still I'm going to vote for him. So it's a strange combination of voting somebody that you knew that he's not going to do what he's saying. So it's very strange a situation now.
Yeah, quite unpredictable. We'll watch with interest. Great to have you on, Valeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.